Welcome to One Club Champ. This is Aylesbury United. We are in the year 2030, 2031, and we've come to the final game of the league season. So I thought it would be good to give you an update as to how it all panned out this year. Now, if we go over here to the team competitions, in the competitions right now, we are set to finish third in the table, meaning we have qualified for the next season's Champions League. We got to the semi-final of the Europa League Cup, which, for us, considering it was our first time in Europe, we got to the semi-final and lost on aggregate 4-2 to Liverpool. They were just better at the end of the day. You can see a number of bookings as we got stuck into the Liverpool, but they had some real quality, and unfortunately we lost to Liverpool there. Going into the FA Cup again knocked out in the semi-final, disappointingly to Brighton, who were a mid-table Premier League team. Anyway, as you can see here, 93rd minute of added on time, we equalise only for Martin Malbon to score in the 95th minute. It's one of those ones where you score and you immediately go to try and change the tactics, and before they even get done, the other team has scored, and so that was it. We lost 4-3. Brighton go to the final, and they play against a Championship Wolves team. Now that could have potentially been our first domestic cup. And then if we look here, we lost in the final of the Carabao Cup. We lost to Arsenal in the final, lost 2-1. That was our previous video, our previous upload. Dias-Funchal scoring in the 94th minute, but we were never really in this game. Arsenal dominated us. So here we go. We've come to the final game of the season. Let's have a look at the Premier League and how this season panned out for us. As I say, we've got one more game to go, and it is going to be at home to Norwich. Dias-Funchal, 40 league goals. Incredible. 40 league goals in 36 league appearances. Across the season, 51 games, 50 goals in all competitions. He scored 8 in 10 in the Europa League. He scored 1 FA Cup goal in the 2 that he played and 1 in the Carabao Cup. And we didn't really play him too much in the Cups because we wanted him fresh for the European games and Premier League. But what a season. 50 goals in 51 games. And a little look at his career stats right here. 40 league goals is unbelievable. Let's quickly go through our team as to what we're looking like right now. Go into our tactics. Dias-Funchal obviously leads the line with Fabiano, who's had a great debut season playing as the false 9, currently worth 31.5 million. He scored 11 league goals, 18 goals across all competitions. Alabaster out here on the left, an assist machine. He assisted 12 in 28. Scored 8 goals in all competitions. He's worth 20.5 million. His other left midfielder, Edu Serra, has done really well since he came in from Barcelona. And let's go this midfield. Sydney Alexander, 18-year-old wonder kid, who's going to be an absolute world beater. Played 10 league games. Finishes with a 7 rating. He's going to be exceptional as he gets older at 18. And next up, our record signing, Nguba. Nguba had some great goals. Of the 2 that he scored, they were stunning free kicks. Not free kicks, stunning long range shots, even though he's got 12. He's got a 7.2 average rating, but I'm very happy with him. He gets the start. And then between Ojeda, who is our Paraguayan 21-year-old, again, 7 assists, 2 goals, and the Velasco, who plays today against Norwich. Again, if we're looking at one particular area to improve upon, it could be this right flank here. Glauber is done exceptionally well over here. He won't play because in the last game because of a pulled thigh, but 2 goals, 3 assists in 14 starts, 25 games in all competitions. He's worth 16.5 million. We have put in a bid to sign Marc Antoni, the towering Italian centre-back at 6'3", on great physicals and real good mental stats. So we've put in a bid to sign him. He will be coming over. They accepted a bid. He's currently worth 44 million. And then down here, Aditya Sekan, just 22 million at 22 years old. Just a solid, very consistent in his performance. And then Gerson over here at left back. He's wanted by, let's have a look. He's wanted by Bournemouth, no chance. 30.5 million, 7 rating, plays real well out there. And then Maluro. Now, we do have some transfers coming in for next year, but we'll save that for another update. We again have gone out to Brazil, well, basically out to South America to go and raid that country for young talent. Have a little look at Charles Tete, 8 goals, mainly played in the cups and in some of the dead rubber European games. He's a goal scorer. If we played him, he'd definitely be banging in some league goals. And then Victor Bagnac, we gave him his solitary start and managed to score an important goal. This guy is one of our hottest properties, even though he's got only 3 potential. He always gets described as one of our hot properties. Anyway, so we're 3rd in the table. We can't finish 4th. We can't finish 2nd. We're playing a mid-table Norwich. Let's see how we go to finish off this season in the 2030-2031 year. I mean, what a great season. We semi-final of the League Cup, semi-final of the final of the League Cup, semi-final of the FA Cup, semi-final of the Europa League Cup, and then finishing 3rd in a Champions League position. Clearly, we need to take us to the next level to be able to compete with Spurs, who have won the league again. They've only lost 1 game all season on 93 points. We need to get some extra quality in, maybe not necessarily build out the squad, but we need to bring in quality that is going to make the starting 11 even better, which means, we might have to say goodbye to players, like Lucas Potler, who aren't really contributing in the starting 11 anymore. And then we've got, it looks like we've got a pitch with no goals right now, which is an interesting development here at Adams Park. I think we might be moving into our new stadium as well next season, which I'm very excited about, as we have ground shared with Wycombe Wanderers since I think it was League 1 or League 2. Now Norwich find themselves one-on-one with goal, and Maluro makes the decent save. Norwich playing a 4-3-3. We don't come up against that formation too much with the AI. They normally play the 4-2-3-1. Uh-oh. No, I was expecting a red card there. When the referee goes over to one of your players, you're like, uh-oh. And we're used to getting a few yellow cards and red cards. So we will be dipping into the transfer market as usual. I don't think we're going to be getting like 10 to 15 players like last year. We've already got 2 outstanding goal scorers. Dias-Funchal with his new contract and on a £154 million contract release clause. He isn't going to be going anywhere unless obviously someone comes in for that money. We will be selling Moravec. Interestingly enough, Real Madrid have decided to pay 40 million for him, so I'm delighted to get him off the wage bill and out of niche, and he can go down to the clubs in Madrid. He's been on loan there for the last 2 years and not really done much. Norwich are looking pretty threatening here, considering it's end of season kind of mid-table, nothingness games for them. But I think third is an amazing finish. In the first year in the Premier League, we finished, I think, 15th. Second year, we finished 6th. And then our third year, we have finished 3rd. Although, as you can see, we're 19 points off of Tottenham. So they've only lost once. And we've lost 7 times. So that's a big switch that we need to make at Aylesbury. Sydney Alexander, the 18-year-old, bursting forward, plays it out to Gabriel Johnson on the right flank, chips it in, headed clear to Naguba. Sydney Alexander to Naguba, out to Johnson again. Oh, good save by the Norwich goalkeeper from Fabiano there. Corner to the Ducks. Velasco to swing it in. And Norwich break. Up that left flank. And then Sydney Alexander doing the tracking back that you need from a midfielder. We're about to get to half time and it's a bit of a snooze. Oh, we got a corner. Here we go. Valeska. Dias-Funchal heads it into the goalkeeper who punts it clear quickly, and Norwich are on the counter-attack. Snapping away there, trying to win the ball back, closing down. Gerson with it at left back. Clips it, and then Dias-Funchal is in. Oh, hits the post, then the side netting. Well, a bit of a kind of a non-event towards the end. We'll tell them that we got a bit more to come from them, and we haven't really finished very well, so we tell them that the quality of finishing isn't good enough. Again, Dias-Funchal scoring 40 league goals from 36 games. I don't think I've had a striker come close to it. I had a regen in a Watford save called Jake Lewis, who consistently scored 20, nearly 30 league goals a season, but never someone that's been getting up to 40 or 50 goals in all competitions. I mean, that's incredible. Naguba heads it clear at the front post, comes back out to Zagre. Gerson into Sydney Alexander, and Velasco is away. A wayward shot would be the polite thing to call that. Throw into Johnson. A goal is needed in this game to liven it up. Gerson clips it round the corner. Dias-Funchal, good tackle, fella. All right, corner to the Ducks. Velasco to swing it in again. Oh, looks like an own goal from the Adita Seekans flick on, and the Ducks find ourselves 1-0 up. Here we go. Velasco clips it in, and yeah, it just hit the central defender and goes over the line. And there we go, 1-0. Free kick, Norwich. You can already tell this is in the back of the net. You just know it. Here we go. Boom. I mean, 1-1. Whenever you get a key highlight and it's a free kick to them, rarely do I see them miss. And it doesn't look like my goalkeeper covers himself in glory here. Yeah, good one, Maluro. Definitely an area where we need to improve next season. We've had Maluro for about 3 years, and he was once a young Spanish goalkeeper with some promise. And he isn't world class. I mean, he's not being called up for Spain, and he's definitely one area that we could get better. We might be making a few subs here. I think we'll take off Fabiano, and we'll give Lucas Potler a go up front. And let's take off Joral Alabasta and give Edu Serra a go on the left. Here we go. We want a bit more. Demand more. Potler with the flick on. And Dias-Funchal gets his 51st goal of the season. And that is what you get from Lucas Potler with his height. Big throw. Delap-esque. Potler with the flick on. Dias-Funchal with pretty decent finish from the left post. That was his 41st league goal of the season. And here we go. I see that Norwich have gone very attacking in a 4-3-3. Lucas Potler breaking away. And he has changed the game, has Potler, for us right now. I don't like the fact that we're 2v1 at the back. Oh, yes. Get in there, Dias-Funchal. Marcantoni with the headed effort goes back to Dias-Funchal, who rifles it in to the goal. What a knockback by Marcantoni, and that is why we are spending the money on Marcantoni to bring him in on a full-term basis. Lucas Potler has changed the course of this game. We've got one more sub to make, I believe. Nguba gets the drop off. Aditya Sekan, Sydney Alexander, Marcantoni out to Nguba, Marcantoni out to Johnson. We're keeping possession pretty well. And now, what has Dias-Funchal got? Sydney Alexander out to Gerson. And Potler finishes it off. Well, since the introduction of Lucas Potler here, we've managed to go and cruise the rest of this game. Sydney Alexander pops it out. Great little through ball to Gerson. Gerson gets a deflected cutback, and Potler in there, Fox in the box, finishes it off 4-1. Would love Dias-Funchal to get a hat-trick in the last game of the season. Velasco breaking away. He's into the 18-yard box. And the highlight is done. Alright, let's pause that. Let's make a sub. I think it might be time. We'll take off. We'll take off Nguba. Put on Morales. And we'll give him a little Mazzala roll. Alright, here we go. Last 10 minutes of the game. Dias-Funchal has got a brace. He's on a hat-trick. Lucas Potler has come on and changed the game. Can we win it back and counter? That's what I'm looking at this highlight for. Let's go. Break. Adika Sekan. Oh my word. That is not what you want your centre half doing. Long ball from Malero. And Norwich have won the ball back and are now attacking our back line. And again, that's a bit of a waste of a shot from Norwich's standpoint. 5 minutes to go, the last 5 minutes of the season to wrap it up, which would have us finish on 78 points if we can secure this, which obviously we can. Last highlight, Norwich with the throw-in. Potler with the knockdown. Dias-Funchal's it in. And he makes no mistake. That is his hat-trick. And he has scored his 53rd league goal, or 53rd goal of the season. His 42nd league goal of the season. Lucas Potler with the little-headed knockdown. And Dias-Funchal just clinical. Hat-trick on the last game of the season. Thank you very much. 5-1. Wow. There you go. I mean, 30 shots, 20 on target, 43% possession. We had 7 clear-cut chances and we've managed to score 5 of them. Marcelo Dias-Funchal scores a hat-trick within 22 minutes. But Lucas Potler really was the catalyst for that game. I mean, he's come off the bench to score and get 2 assists. Well done, Mr. Potler. All right, everybody, that was a great season. Finished third in the Premier League, finalists of the League Cup, semi-finalists of the FA Cup, semi-finalist of the Europa League Cup. But next year is the big one, Champions League. Here we come, the Ducks.